And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing his new team, representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we jump into our next matchup, as we jump into the round of 16. Let's go. Let's go. So just adding the alias, or SHIN's alias, to our casting tool. But yeah, the ZvTs, they continue. We saw Bunny wreak havoc previously here with some very aggressive builds. Remember, game 1, we had a straight up 1-1-1 before 3rd CC from Bunny. Game 2, we had a 3CC 2-1-1 as well. So already very assertive, very aggressive builds. We'll see if that trend continues. Meanwhile, SHIN, hatch pool into hatchery, gasless on ley lines. Ooh, okay. Okay, SHIN, I see you. I'm a little bit concerned, not gonna lie. Wait, what? Okay. So, there's a lot going on right now. First things first. If you've been watching Dark for the past, year? If you've been watching players like Cyril for the past year as well, maybe over a year at this point, you'd be familiar with this opener. This is a gasless opener in ZvT. This is very greedy, and you would know that this is usually preserved or usually reserved as a build on certain maps, on more defendable maps, specifically on maps like Neon Violet Square, Abyssal Reef, King's Cove, El Dorado. All these maps have something in common. They're all very defendable. They all have ramps coming into the natural. They all have more limited attack paths. They are all easier to defend on 3 bases without link speed with queens. This is not one of them. Ley lines is not one of those defendable maps. Ley lines is more open. Ley lines is more exposed. Ley lines, this is so risky from SHIN, and if Bunny realizes what's going on, he can punish this. Now, first things first, it gets in. One drone already goes down. One drone does fall. Reaper does get behind the mineral line, and does he check the gases? Does he go further in? We'll see if he confirms. For now, he's going to be zoned away. Heads down to low ground. Now he sees, already done. He sees the base and the progression. But he already threw down the 3rd CC, so he cannot respond with a 1-1-1. This is fortunate for SHIN. So basically, because it took him longer to scout, because it took him longer to check the 3rd base, he didn't realize how much progression there was already on it, so he cannot react here with something more aggressive like a 1-1-1, but he's going to turn this into a 3CC 2-1-1. Okay, so he's still going to be assertive. We saw this in the previous game. There's going to be a strong sim timing, and it's going to be on Bunny to punish SHIN. We'll see if he can. Now, when it comes to this setup here, again, SHIN is going to be defending with purely roaches, and this leads into, purely queens, and this leads into roach play. Now, the reason why this leads into roach play is because gases are so late, and link speed is so delayed anyway, you just skip them. You just skip link speed and go straight into roach production instead. Speaking of, yep, there's a roach for it. So again, this is standard. Like, this is just a standard response. Gasless into Roach Warren. SHIN, so far, he is maintaining himself. So far, he is keeping up. But it's not really about the early game right now. It's all about that stim timing for SHIN. We'll see if he can survive that. Now, roaches, they can be really safe, of course. Roaches, they can be very robust. SHIN, he should have them out in time. I say should. He doesn't know what's happening. He hasn't scouted yet. He doesn't know what exactly Bunny's up to. Now, he is taking a note of the low Hellion count, that is true. But for all SHIN knows, this could be a straight up 2-on-1, this could be a 3CC 2-on-1. SHIN is still in the dark. As again, SHIN is taking the role of the defender. And now he's droning. Now is the time to drone for the next 30 seconds. And then he'll need some roach production. For now, just gathering gas. Only on the one gas geyser. He's not going to have many roaches to defend. I'm still not sold on this from SHIN, I'll be honest. I'm still not sold on it, but we'll see. As there's Yadon swap and medevacs are on the horizon. Again, SHIN, he still has a little bit more time to drone before he does need roach production. I'm just concerned about how many roaches exactly he's going to have. I mean, he's going to have queen support as well. True, he's getting up to 8 queens. At this point, we do need to start making roaches. At this point, I mean, the medevac's on the horizon. We need to start roach production as quickly as possible. We have Lings on the way. Ling speed is still being researched. We have the roach one, but 0 roaches. So it's going to be Lings and queens to defend. Again, it might be a high enough queen count to hold on here. Like 8 queens can be quite robust. They have transfuse, of course. Bunny moves out, catching out some Lings. Bunny's making his way towards the 4th base, and we'll see if Shin can defend the 4th. There's no creep here yet. Active tumor gets knocked down. Nice pickoff. Marines, they do drop in. And again, the goal here is the 4th. Lings, they get dealt with. Marines steaming forward. They're going for the expansion, and they will get it. They force a cancel. Not bad. That's all he wanted. That's all he wanted. He did force a cancel. Nice pickoff here by Bunny. Already a strong start for the Terran. And Shin, he's skipping roaches entirely. He did make a safety roach one, but he's going pure Ling into +1 carapace. Okay. Interesting. Okay, now going to roach speed. Now going to roach speed. Behind this, big shout to King TQD in the chat. Baby God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the gifts and sub to the community. Thank you, we appreciate it. We appreciate it as always, one of our big supporters of the channel. Thank you, thank you. Always do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content, hope you enjoy the casting, hope you enjoy the StarCraft as a tank. Oh, the tank does survive. Repairs in time. Bunny, he defends against the Ling run by. And Bunny, his goal should be to rotate and to deny the 4th base once again. We'll see how Bunny does move out on the map. There we go. There's the rotation. Now this time Shin, he will have some roaches. Thankfully, Shin, he will have some Ravagers. So Ravagers are morphing in. These are going to be paramount here when it comes to the tank defense, as he will have to bile down those tanks. Does have a very robust army, and the base does complete. This time Shin is ready. Let's go to his Master Roach Ravager. Oh! Again, he's looking for those biles. And Bunny, he sees the army, he backs off. Yeah, he knows he cannot break this. He cannot break this. There's just so much Roach Ravager. Shin is cutting workers. He's cutting workers at 60. He's making nothing but Roaches and Ravagers. He's pushing out across the map. Bunny's racing back home. Sets up the tanks. Shin, he's essentially going for a 3-base all-in. The 4th base just for lava. He's not droning. He's not droning. Scan into the main. Roach Ravager moving in. Shin, can he break through? Safari does threaten. There's still 3 tanks behind this. Shin trying to come in from behind. Takes down the depot. Supply blocking Bunny. Massive supply block. Catching out 3 depots. Shin tries to come in from behind. Biles, they catch one of the tanks. Oh, they barely don't actually. And the army stems in. And so many roaches going to be going down. And Bunny, he's trading much more efficiently here. He's trading well. And Shin has to make a choice. Does he start droning? Does he still commit? He's committing. Morphing in more Ravagers. Biles, they catch a depot. They catch a depot. Shin rotating over. Shin, he rotates. Bunny's keeping up with said rotations. Biles, they don't quite connect. There we go. They do get one of the tanks. One tank does go down. Again, that's mainly a Ravager army at this point. Biles, they're delaying. Tank does reposition. Another depot goes down. Shin, he's about to max out. Once again, Bunny stimming forward. Ooh, takes a ball to the face. He's taking 1 ball to the face so far. Bunny, he's taking a 4th base in the midst of this, by the way. It's crazy. Just taking a 4th. Another tank finally goes down. Oh, the Medivacs! Oh my god. Medivacs, they take a lot of hits, a lot of damage. Bunny's gonna be careful. One more pile of Medivacs, they will go down. Tank wants to get repositions. So many tanks are just further back. They're not really applicable here to this fight. And Marines, he's running out of buy, running out of Marines. These tanks, they've had to reposition long ago. Now they're finally moving in. As tanks reposition, Shin, he rotates. This time Bunny is a little bit more attentive. He is more attentive here. Tanks do reposition. The bully's going to be going off. One tank is going to get biled. Just the one though. And boys are being pulled. A rough defense here for Bunny, but he will clean this up. Does cost him 16 SCVs though. But he can afford to lose it. Remember, Shin was all in. Remember, Shin, he wasn't droning. He was stuck with 60 workers. Bunny, he breaks out, takes down all the Ravagers. And Bunny, he will completely shut this down. GG gets called. The all-in fails. And Bunny, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, Shin, he had some nice rotations. Bunny was having a hard time repositioning his tanks, but for the most part, he was able to just build up, or I should say, he was able to preserve his army. I do appreciate that he did pull the boys towards the end. Remember, it didn't matter that Bunny lost 16 SCVs because Shin was all in. Like, despite losing all those workers, Bunny, he still had a greater economy than his opponent. Defending was all that mattered at that point, and Bunny broke out. Bunny, he did break out, did claim it. GG, well played. And with that, Bunny is 1 game away from the quarterfinals. Let's go. One more game is all he needs. As we are getting into game number 2. And again, this was a very tense kind of game as well, just because Shin, he was so greedy early on. As a reminder, Bunny, he was unable to punish the greed too much. But what's important is that Bunny did recognize the all-in ahead of time. If you remember, a really, I would say, a key moment actually was when Bunny pushed towards the 4th base, the northern 4th, not the southern 4th, the northern 4th base the second time. If you remember, something important happened there. He scanned and he saw the Roach Ravager, and as soon as he saw the Roach Ravager in position, he didn't commit. He picked up his tanks and he raced back home. Like, he immediately recognized that he could not actually break the 4th, which was the initial plan. He recognized he couldn't break the 4th base. He recognized how much Roach Ravager there was, and he recognized how much danger he was in. And he was so quick to recognize that, to respect it, to rush back home, and to start the defense. Instead of, being a little bit hard-headed and trying to break the 4th anyway and being overwhelmed. But here we go, we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Weibo Gaming. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is Shin. We go. Shin, he does open up initially hatch first. We'll see if he does go for another greedy build. We'll see if he does go for another spawning pool without any gas geysers. There we go, gas on the way. Standard opener this time out of Shin. Thankfully. I was gonna say that if he did try to go for another greedy build and go gasless 2 games in a row, I would say that Bunny, after what happened in game 1, he'd be a lot more attentive at scouting for that sort of thing. So I appreciate that Shin, he goes for a standard build this time. He does not go gasless on Amygdala. So standard opener this time, and meanwhile Bunny does open up back at home, going for his SEV scouts and going for his Rax expand. So far so good. As he moves out, CC on the way. And we'll see how Shin will approach this. As he's droning, he's saturating. Bunny gets eyes on the hatchery timing, and he gets eyes on the 3rd. And we'll attempt to delay. Shin moves out with 2 drones, so he's going for whichever 3rd base is available. Does take the linear 3rd instead. It is spotted. Now this base is more exposed, which is a little bit worrisome here. Basically, there's a greater angle. There's a greater angle of attack at this 3rd base, so we could even see a Bunny expand towards Shin, and could even try to pull off an A-Rax. We'll see. I'm getting ahead of myself. That does hit far later. We'll see how Shin opens. For now, 3rd CC. Bunny going for a 3rd CC before starport. Economic build here by Bunny. Now, Bunny has been very fond of going 3 CC 2-on-1. We've seen it twice now today already. We saw it last game and we saw it against Rex. Yep, there it is. 3 CC 2-on-1. And as a reminder, this is not a regular 2-on-1, this is a more economic variation. Because of that, this does hit 1 minute later. So this hits at 5:30 instead. I should emphasize around a minute later. So because of that, SHIN, he will be able to drone up a little bit harder, assuming he recognizes what exactly is going on, as he still has limited scouting information. Still has limited scouting. Oh, SHIN, he does overmake Lings. These Lings, I believe, we're going to be moving out. Their goal here is to try to catch Bunny out of position. Basically, the Hellions are moving out, right? The Hellions are being active, which means Bunny doesn't really have much at home to defend. He's vulnerable. So this is a risky maneuver here by SHIN, but he's going for it. He's going for the dive. Back at home, what is it to defend? Two Hellions and a handful of Marines. Bunny, he doesn't move out with everything, thankfully. Lings, they go for the dive. Boys, they're pulled away. And Hellions are in position here on the ramp. Yeah, one SCV goes down, getting up to 2. 2 SCV kills, pulls back into the mineral line. Hellions, they will roast up the Lings. Other 2 Hellions race back home, and Bunny defends. And this did do some damage, I suppose. I mean, that was 14 Lings for 2 SCVs. Did kill some Marines, true. So, because he was able to kill some Marines, he didn't just do that. SHIN also got a full scout. He got a full scout of the main. Now he knows 3 CC 2-on-1. He knows exactly what build he's up against. And because he was able to pick off 5 Marines, that does mean that the stim timing, that the medevac timing is going to be weaker. What should have been 16 Marines, now down to 11. So this will disrupt the overall build here of Bunny. Meanwhile, SHIN back at home is going to be opening up initially Ling speed, but then into Roaches. So he's going to be relying on a more Roach heavy style once again. It is considered to be a safer way to play, playing Roach instead of Ling main. And we'll see if SHIN goes for another all-in. True, that's also on the table. As a reminder, last game, SHIN, he went up to 4 bases, but he cut workers at 60. It was a 60 drone, 3 base all-in out of SHIN. Once again, +1 carapace on the way. Once again, only 1 Evo chamber. This looks like the same setup so far. Meanwhile, Bunny, he will rotate towards the stop side. The goal here is to force a cancel at the 4th. Once again, the Marine count is lower than normal. It's going to be lower. It's going to be 12 Marines instead of 16. Dusts him in, going for the expansion. And he should force a cancel. And there it is, does force that cancel. Oh, he can go for it again. Oh, not quite. Whew, not quite. Roaches do arrive. At the same time, Lings, they do harass across the map. They get 4 SCVs, not bad. Very nicely run by. And time again, getting up to 8 SCVs. Ay. Hellions, they race back home, but Bunny gets caught with his pants down. This time he gets punished for 10 SCV kills. And SHIN, I believe he is going to go for the all-in. SHIN, once again, how many workers do you see? 60. 60 drones, 3 base all-in out of SHIN, 4th base only for Larva. But this time, as opposed to last game, 10 SCV kills. This time the economy has been stifled for Bunny. This time it's not as ideal. And this time Bunny doesn't see the all-in coming. Remember, last time he was able to see this ahead of time. He was able to react, able to respond. Bunny, he's in the dark. He's in the dark. He's out of position. Roach Ravager moving in. Bunny trying to respond. Tanta Siege. CC taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. Second tank has arrived. Oh, they're stacked. Oh no! Yeah, miscontrol here. The tanks, they do stack. One tank goes down, second tank as well, and SHIN, he's done it. SHIN, he has done it. He has broken the back of Bunny. GG gets called, and SHIN ties up the series 1-1. GG. This time, SHIN having a much stronger 3 base all-in. This time, again, he was able to get more SCV kills in the lead up to the 3rd base, and also afterwards as well, just getting, I want to say in total, 18 SCV kills throughout the course of that game. So 18 SCVs did slow down his opponent. Likewise, this time Bunny did not scout. He did not see the push. And with that, that leads us here into the ace match. Let's go. That leads us into game 3, and we'll see how this story ends. We'll see how this story ends. Now, does Shin go for the same 3-base all-in 3 games in a row? There's a high chance, Pappy. There's a high chance that happens. No. So getting into our next game. Game 3 is going to be on Frostline. Ooh, Frostline, I would say, is actually known for this kind of play. Frostline is a large map, that is true, but has very open third bases. Open third, open fourth base, so 3-base all-ins, they hit quite hard on this map. They hit very hard, they are more difficult to defend, and we'll see if we embrace it for a 3rd game in a row. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. Here we go. We made it all the way to the ace match. SHIN, he has gotten to that 3-base all-in in 2 different ways, true, but in the end, all roads lead to Rome. Going into Roaches, going to +1 Carapace, going into only 60 workers, and just committing across the map. We'll see if he does it again. Once again, welcome to Frostline. As we mentioned previously, Frostline has some very exposed bases and very difficult to defend locations. I'm referring to this linear third base and the triangular third base as well. Something that they do have in common here is how wide the ramps are coming into the bases and how wide or how large the bases are in general here. So aggressing players that go for all-ins, they actually have potential to actually have a greater concave against the defending player. So there's kind of a lot of angles here, a lot of avenues of attack. Likewise, there's also this center location in between all the bases, so SHIN can even rotate. If he were to attack one of these bases, he can rotate in between them towards the natural as well and try to catch Bunny out of position, try to catch him off guard. It's just a very accessible kind of crossroads here between the natural, the third, and the fourth base. So defending can be quite difficult on Frostline, more so than on other maps, like even Amygdala, even Abyssal Reef, near Violet Square, or the other large maps. So, because that, just not even in this matchup, but in ZvP and in PvT, we see a lot of all-ins. We see a lot of all-ins on Frostline with a lot of success as well. Later and longer games are more of a rarity on this map. Not impossible, but just more rare. So we'll see how our players will approach this. As Reaper does get across the map. I will say that to give a little bit more praise to SHIN, it wasn't just about, you know, his overall all-in wreaking havoc. We touched on it, I want to emphasize it again. The fact that SHIN, he was so much on top of his run-bys, like Ling run-by time and time again, just forcing Bunny back home and punishing Bunny and getting SCV kills. We saw that after game 1, SHIN, he was very much so kind of locked in, or a little more attuned to Bunny's style, and a little more willing, a little more ready here to punish him and to counterattack and to wreak havoc across the map. It led to the success of the all-in for SHIN. Just the non-stop run-bys. As Bunny will score with his pants down multiple times. Meanwhile, standard opener out of SHIN, hatch gas pool. Standard opener. Meanwhile, Bunny does mix it up. Do you see what I see? No third command center and 1-1-1. No third command center, just going for a 1-1-1 instead. I do think that this is ideal against roach heavy players. Against roaches, Banshees are ideal defensively, offensively as well. It's a very aggressive start here by Bunny. As opposed to the previous games, Bunny, he will have extra Hellions and he will have faster Banshees. So a very aggressive build. This is not an all-in. This will still lead into a third CC, but the third CC is going to be late. It's going to be a later third base here for Bunny. Overlord goes in for the scout. The Overlord will confirm the reactor on the factory, so he's aware of the 1-1-1. Or at least the variation. Technically, for SHIN, seeing his vision, he knows. Yeah, he saw the research. He saw the research, so he knows there is no command center. He knows it is late. SHIN once again, Roach Warren. Goes to the roaches. It's going to be on SHIN here to keep up with the Hellion rotations. Again, there are more Hellions than previously. They're looking for an opening. As Hellions are active, Lings, they do bypass the Hellions. They go straight for the natural once again. We spoke about the Ling run-bys, and once again, we do get into the middle line. SV is going to be going down. Gets one SCV so far. Hellions, they race back home. Ooh, getting up to 3 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. And Bunny forced back. He's forced to defend. Behind this standard follow-up, going into a 3-1-1. Alongside his third command center. Likewise, SHIN is droning. SHIN is saturating. No early Evo chamber this time. They're plus on Carapace. Likewise, the Banshees have been wreaking havoc. They get 4 drone kills so far. Banshees, they move in once again. Getting another drone. Getting 5. Getting 6. Six workers go down. Rotating into the main. SHIN is going double Evo chamber. This tells us he's going for a longer game. He's not going for the all-in, not this time. SHIN is macroing. He's getting a 4th base. He's droning up. Evo chamber. Oh, sorry, gas geyser does go down. It's denied. Bunny is gearing up for his own move out. But looks like SHIN is comfortable getting into a more standard game state. Going to 1-1 upgrades this time, not just Carapace. Likewise, look at the drones. Previously, he never made more than 60. Now he's up to 75. So 75 workers, now taking up into Hive Tech. He will be joining up the 4th. Hellion spoke in. But again, because of the initial build of Bunny, he can't really threaten this space. Not yet. Going to be forced back. Here, SHIN, he's now building up his roaches. He's getting ready for the push. And it should be hitting momentarily. It's actually hitting a little bit later than usual. I think part of this is also because of the later expansion. But 1-1 is still not yet done. Ideally, you want to hit with it. This one is going to be forced back. Hive production has begun. Into his hive. A scan does reveal it. We see SHIN poking out, but SHIN, he's droning behind this. Like SHIN, he has no intention to commit. Yeah, runs into the tanks. SHIN pulling away. Building up his army. Getting to Lingbane Roach Ravager. And that 1-1 timing for Bunny, he doesn't hit it. He doesn't hit it. He's staying back home. I mean, it is difficult to be active specifically in this location, but okay, there we go. He moves out. I was going to say that he could be prone to getting surrounded. SHIN, he does spot the army. SHIN getting in position. And now Banelings are not ready. True, Baneling's speed is still on the way. Dropping the main does distract. SHIN, can he hold on? But he sims in. Where's the Biles? Tanks like she's up a little bit far behind. SHIN trying to engage. Got with the army here, Bunny. Hive is done. Ultra Cavern on the horizon. Getting into Ultras. To Ultras. Likewise, SHIN is maxed out. And that's a decent tank spread here for Bunny. Bailey's they roll in. And Bunny's trapped. He's trapped against the corner. Bailey's they will knock it in with the bio. but the tanks are being cleaned up, and SHIN has enough. He barely has enough. He cleans up the army. And Bunny plummets in supply, at the same time dropping across the map, and still rallying in. He's still going. Bunny's still rallying forward, and SHIN needs more banelings. The drop does distract. SHIN's still trying to recover. Ultra camera's on the way. Sorry, Ultra's on the way even. 4 Marines. They're gonna get a kill. It's close. It's so close back. Oh my god, can he get it? He can! One more! Oh my god! 7 HP! One more shot. At the same time, Bunny pushing forward. Catching out a couple of roaches. Let's get a couple of roaches. Banshees are going for the expansion. Uh-oh. Queen's out of position. Queen's now coming in. No transfuse. Hatchery goes down, losing both bases. Yeah, the 4th and the 5th go down. Ay, ay, ay. No transfuse in time. SHIN, he's on 90 drones, but he's long distance mining. At the same time, though, Bunny also stuck on 66 workers as well. Stuck on 66. Oh, he was A-Raxing. Oh, yeah, he was A-Raxing. Bunny, he was basically 3-base all in. So 3-base all in here from Bunny. Did fail. I mean, it did kill some bases, don't get me wrong. He was hoping for more. So late 4th expansion for Bunny. So after killing these bases, he's not as far ahead as he otherwise should be. Because he never intended for a 4th base. He was hoping he could end the game by now. Just now landing it. But he rotates. SHIN, he's got ultras. Ultras are ready. Kindness plating is done. He already has +2. SHIN, he actually doesn't come in to reinforce. The base is going to be denied. He can't save it. There's a cancel. SHIN instead, he just goes to the counter attack. He just goes to the run by. Mine shots going up. He just ignores the army, goes for the 3rd, takes down 11 SCVs. Vipers have arrived. Oh, going for the power bombs. And SHIN is coming in for the surround. The Vipers are getting caught out. We have Ultras coming in from behind. Bit of an awkward assault. Planetary's not ready. A nice catch here on one of the Ultras. Doesn't go down though. Ultra does live. SHIN, he pulls away. He's retaking his bases. Now he has proper saturation, at least for the most part. SHIN is remaxed. He has yet to begin +3. So no +3 carabase yet. And again, SHIN is more concerned with remaxing. Just maxing out. Jeez, the fungal. Catching out a couple of medevacs, not bad. They're actually being shut down. At the same time, all planetary falls to the Ultras, and Bunny just running out of steam. He has a large army, but he has no longevity. He's all in. Fungal connects once again. Base is abandoned. Bunny, he breaks the expansion. Not bad. I mean, Bunny has a massive army supply. He has a lot to work with. But he's down to 3 bases. Likewise, SHIN down to 4. Down to 4 expansions. Bunny rotating over. Bunny, he does rotate. We have how many infestors left? One infestor, 2 vipers. That fungal is going to be so crucial. Changelings, they spot the army. Shin collapsing in. And Bunny's not ready. Shin, he doesn't quite catch the army. Oh, was that a kill? Yeah, kill and not a cancel. Expansion goes down. Bunny, he's still very much so all in, but like he can still win the game. Like this is still a terrifying force for Bunny. Meanwhile, mainly ultras, they dive forward. He wants the fungal. Gets a power. Oh no! Oh my god. 3 medics go down. And there's no escaping this. There's no escaping. The Bio Army has to get the hell out of here. Heavily overstimmed. Oh my god, even pushing friendly fire. And Shinny's done it. Shin, he has done it. Bunny just bleeding out so much. Too much even. Nice wine shots. What am I to connect? Lanes on the right hand side. Shin is supply blocked, which is slowing him down. Oh. You want that fungal? He does fungal, does catch the army. And Shinny's done it. Shinny's done it. He has broken the back of Bunny. Ultras, they come in from behind. They collapse on the forces, on the Marauders, on the Marines. And Marauders, they're kiting well. They're trading as well as they can. But again, there's all... So yoink one of the Marauders. Let's go. Let's go. Get over here. GG gets called. And Shin, he will take the series 2-1. Taking down Bunny and advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. We spoke earlier how all-in's a favorite on this map, and we assumed that it was going to be Shin. We assumed it was going to be Shin going for the all-in, but no, it was Bunny. Bunny, he went for a 3-base all-in, he went for an 8 racks. I apologize for not noticing until after it had failed, until realizing, like, hold on, he has no 4th CC, he has no expansion. Again, Bunny was committed, and he was doing some damage, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't enough. Was not enough. He didn't really get any drone damage, he didn't really get any critical economic damage. He was able to snipe some bases, but always at a cost, and he just didn't have enough momentum to keep things going. In the end, Shin, he barely held, he barely survived, and once he got into Hive Tech, he sealed the deal. Sealed the deal with his ultras and with the spellcasters. GG. GG, well played. With that, Shin will advance on. Bunny is knocked out of the tournament, and the question becomes, who's up next? Where are we headed? Where are we headed here?